Hello and welcome to the green portion of the Secrets of Strixhaven limited set review. Haven't been to one of these before. I use 5 tiers to evaluate the cards. They're mostly based around my expected draft position, power level, combination, a little bit of vibes, all that good stuff. But we're just going to get started with Aberrant Mana Worm. 3 and a green, 2/5 trample. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, this creature gets +X/+0 until end of turn, X is the amount of mana spent to cast that spell. I don't like when my creatures don't block. And this does not do that very well. I mean, it blocks better than some of these can. Like, it can block 2 drops and sometimes 3 drops. It's just like, it's kind of just a 4 mana 2/5. And like, I don't, like, green-black doesn't want this really. And blue-green doesn't really want this because blue-green doesn't want to attack. So it's just like, I don't know. Feels kind of like not great to me. It feels like there's not really a spot for it. I don't know. Could be wrong. Could just be a house. Additive Evolution. 3 green green enchantment. Whenever this enchantment enters, create a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token. Put 3+1/+1 counters on it. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It gains vigilance until end of turn. I mean, this is really good, right? So, 5 mana, you get a 4/4. And you're just giving something +1/+1 every single turn. It's nice. It's quite nice. Obviously it's understated and a little bit slow, but I do think this is really good. Kind of want to move it to tier 2, because again, you think about it, right? So you get a 5 mana 4/4, and then just every turn you're getting +1/+1 counter on something, pretty much. And it gets vigilance too. It is, the problem is, like, it does have the, like, it doesn't really even have like a problem though, because it gives you a creature. It's not like you're really that far behind. You're a little behind. After 2 turns you're caught up on tempo, right? You've spent 5 mana and you get 5 power and toughness worth of stuff. But then just every turn for the rest of the game, it's like, okay, well now creatures have vigilance and also they're big. Yeah, I'm gonna move it up. Hard to put a 5 drop this high, but I really do believe in it. Anything that gives like value over turns like this just tends to be pretty good. Ambitious Augmenter, single green for a 1/1 with increment. Whenever this creature dies, if it had 1 or more counters on it, create a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token, then put this creature's counters on that token. Yep, this is a great 1 drop. Basically the same as the evolving adaptive from Phyrexia LB1, but actually even better than that card because it has upside. So great. I don't have anything to say about it. Brog Barrage. 1 and a green instant. Target creature you control gets +1/+0 until end of turn. If you've cast another instant or sorcery spell this turn, then it deals damage equal to its power to up to 1 target creature an opponent controls. So it's basically just a bite spell, and how often are you really going to be able to combo this? Not very often. The reward for comboing it's not even that good. It's okay. But bite spells are fine, and you can just play them usually. You need to have removal somehow, and this does work. So, yeah. Kelnion, I can't pronounce that. Chelonian tackle? I don't know. 2 and a green to sorcery. Target creature gets +0/+10 until end of turn, then it fights up to 1 target creature an opponent controls. Not giving any like form of power boost is pretty bad on your fight spells. Sort of the sweet spot with this is +2/+2 is kind of the best type of fight spell. This is kind of not anywhere near that. I am out on it. Comforting Counsel, 1 and a green enchantment. When you gain life, put a growth counter on this enchantment. As long as there are 5 or more growth counters on this enchantment, creatures you control get +3/+3. So it's a build around, right? You only want to play it in the black-green deck, and so it's getting dinged for that. But I mean, all of the black-green stuff has incidental life gain on it, and I mean like all of it. So this, to me, it feels pretty doable, and once it's on, you're probably going to win the game. So, especially because when you attack with the pests, you get, like, let's say you have 2 pests and you have 3 counters on this thing, right? You attack with both pests, both triggers go on the stack. this pumps the pests. It makes them big before they actually have to deal damage. That's a really good like interaction. That's really helpful. I really think that's great. Of course, you don't ever play this in blue green. Is the green black card only. And it's a sweet card. It rocks. I do think five is kind of a number that is hard to get to at times, but it is maybe win more you could suggest, and I think that's definitely a fair assessment. But it does feel pretty doable. Efflorescence, 2 and a green, instant. Put 2+1/+1 counters on target creature. If you gain life this turn, it also gains trample and indestructible. I'm out on 3 mana combat tricks. I'm just out on them. They really haven't printed one ever that's good. I mean, that's obviously false, but like it's very rare that they print a 3 mana combat trick and it's playable. The reasons are pretty myriad, right? You have like there's a number of blue bounce spells which make this just completely embarrassing. And even if that's not a thing, it's just like the black exile spell works too. Like that, just everything just kills this. I think this is just horrible. Emeritus of Abundance, 2 and a green, 3/4 with vigilance. It enters prepared. When it attacks, if you control 8 or more lands, it becomes prepared, and it has regrowth as a prepare spell. Yeah, I mean, this is just very good, right? 3 mana, 3/4 vigilance is good. You can start casting regrowths. I don't. It does kind of just die. Like it does, you just kind of remove it, but it does get value, right? Like think about it as a 5 mana 3/4 that gets something back from your graveyard. Kind of expensive. It does get anything, and it can do it multiple times. Although if you're doing it multiple times, I think the game is already over. Blocks very well. I could just move this to tier 1. It does need to be dealt with, and it's a 3/4 for 3, and it has vigilance. 3/4 vigilance for 3 is really good. Yeah, let's move it up. All right, it's been moved up. Emil, Fastlands Roamer. 2 and a green, 3/3. Creatures you control with +1/+1 counters on them have trample, and you can pay 4 and a green to create a 0/0 with X +1/+1 counters on it, where X the number of differently named lands you control. So 2 or maybe 3, sometimes more. The thing is, like, it's just a 3 mana 3/3 a lot. That's pretty bad, but the upside is reasonable. You're kind of making an engine. Do you really want to spend 5 mana to do this in this format? You're going to be, like, drawing all these cards, you've prepared stuff. Like, to me, it's just kind of, I don't know. It just feels like not necessary. Environmental Scientist, 1 and a green, 2/2. When it enters, you may search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it in your hand, shuffle. It's a very, very good 2-drop. I don't really have any notes on it. Pretty broken. I don't know. It's insane. Follow the Lumerets. 1 and a green, sorcery. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature or land card from among them and put it into your hand. If you gain life this turn, instead you may reveal 2 creature or land cards and put them into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. Again, kind of just a black-green card. They really went in on the black-green stuff. They juiced it. They put like a lot of support for it, given that it's only one of the 5 decks. So maybe it is going to be real, and my ratings on the multicolor cards will be come back to haunt me, which is definitely possible. I mean, this is very, very good, right? I mean, you're only going to want to cast it as a sorcery anyway if you're gaining life to get 2 things, and you're almost certainly going to get 2 things. Like, I mean, the odds of missing 2 creatures and 2, or like missing with this is insanely low. Like, you're going to get 2 things with this 90% of the time. Yeah, this is just insane. I don't know. I mean, the thing is, it's one deck. It goes in one deck, right? That's why it's in tier 3, not tier 2. It goes in one deck. You don't play this in blue-green. Like, you just don't. If it were an instant, you'd play it in blue-green, but it's not. So I don't think you're going to play it in blue-green. But in black-green, it seems very good. Germination Practicum. 3 green for a lesson. Put 2+1/+1 counters on each creature you control. Paradigm. So this is very similar to Virtue of Loyalty, of course, the second half of it. It's better, question mark. It's kind of worse, I don't know. It's at the beginning of your main phase, right? Yeah. So the problem is that you kind of like if your opponent can remove your creatures before the second trigger of this, but I mean, if you just have 2 creatures in play and you cast it, your opponent's like, "Oh man, like I'm gonna like all your creatures just get enormous for the rest of the game," and it is very good. It obviously requires you to have creatures, so it's probably a little bit worse. It's probably closer to the black one than in the blue, red, or white ones. I still think it's very good though. It just becomes so hard to ever trade. Like, like your opponent can remove the first like creature or two, but then it's just like, oh well now. And imagine you have pests, right? Pests exist, and like this exists. Like you just get two, like everything that makes multiple bodies, and then yeah, you're just kind of running. So I think this is quite good. Glorious Decay, 1 and a green instant. Choose one. Destroy target artifact. It deals 4 damage to target creature with flying. Exile target card from a graveyard. Draw a card. So there's actually, I don't think there's that many flyers in this set. There's the dragons, but the dragons all don't die to this. So I think this is just really bad, basically, unless your opponent is playing artifacts and you sideboard in it. Hungry Graphalon, 3 and a green, 3/4 with reach and increment. I didn't think they were capable of printing a card this bad in 2026, but they did do it. So I guess like it's something to think about. Obviously, if it gets a counter, it's fine, but you gotta cast a 4 mana spell for it to get a counter, and it starts as a 4 mana 3/4. Yeah, I think this is garbage. So we'll see. Maybe it's not completely terrible, but I doubt it. Infirmary Healer, 1 and a green, 2/3 enters prepared, and you have a sorcery that costs X and a green, and target player gains X life. So it's an X spell that kind of matters a little bit. It's a really bad X spell. Like basically, like the best mode on the X spell is you pay X equals 1 and you gain 1 life to trigger your life gain stuff for 2 mana, which is not great. If you're like juicing a bunch of mana to gain a bunch of life, I don't think that's very good. um, but it's not. I don't think it's a bad card. It's a 2 mana 2/3. There's a lot of 2/2s in the set. It blocks those, but it doesn't seem like it helps out really. Lumaret's Favor, 1 and a green instant. Infusion. When you cast this spell, copy it. If you gain life this turn, you may choose new targets for the copy. Target creature gains +2/+4 until end of turn. I think I'm being a little harsh because, again, with the pests, they work on attacks. So this actually works with the pests attacking. So let's re-rate this to reflect that. I also think, yeah, that's kind of the only thing I'm gonna re-rate it to reflect. It still kind of has the problem of like being awkward and like, oh, I have only one creature attacking, and yes, you can copy this and put it twice on the thing, but if they're blocking it, it doesn't really blow them out anymore the second time. But +2/+4 is pretty big. I think this is an okay trick. Mindful Biomancer, 1 and a green, 2/2, and it enters, you gain 1 life. 2 and a green. This creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Activate only once each turn. I really like this card. I don't think you're gonna play it in blue-green. I think you might play it in black-green. I like the design. I don't think it's like a good card or anything, but I don't know. I have an affinity for it. It's kind of interesting. Just giving you the incidental life gain is quite nice, but we've kind of seen this like wolf effect of like getting +2/+2 for 3 be not really enough to play your 2-drop. Noxious Newt, 1 and a green, 1/2 with Death Touch. You can tap it for a green. Seems really good in blue-green. You're just ramping and doing stuff, and even in black-green, I think you're gonna play it. Just Death Touch on your mana elf is kind of solves all the problems with the mana elves. It makes them relevant into the late game. And this one's got 2 toughness, which actually does matter a little bit in some spots. So I think this is quite good. I don't necessarily know if it's like tier 2 good, like, oh man, I'm super excited to pick one this, but I do think it's a good card that is going to be in my deck pretty much every time. Oracle's Restoration, single green for a sorcery. Target creature you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn. You draw a card and gain 1 life. I don't love this. Feels a little cantripy in green. Like, blue-green definitely doesn't want this. And so green-black wants it, is sort of the home for it maybe, but it seems really low impact and there's better ways to gain life, so I don't think I'm going to be playing it. Pestbrood Sloth, 3 and a green, 4/4 reach. When it dies, you get 2 1/1 pests. Yeah, this is quite solid. Dies triggers in a set with bounce, with very good bounce spells, and one of the better black exile removal spells we've had. Kind of tough. Kind of a tough spot to be a dies trigger type creature. It is just a 4 mana 4/4 reach, which is a pretty reasonable stat line. I don't think the card's bad, but definitely feels unnecessary. Doesn't feel like it's the best either. Planner Engineering, 3 and a green for sorcery, sacrifice 2 lands, search your library for 4 basic land cards. Oh, it's only basics. Alright, you can ignore my warning to modern players. Put them onto the battlefield tapped and shuffle. I thought this said any land, and I was like, man, could just more Amulet Titan support, huh? But, like, shout out to the modern players that keep playing with that deck in the format. Um, the, I don't really want 4, like, basics. Like, I just don't. I don't want to do this. You're ramping, obviously. I just don't. This is not necessary. Shopkeeper's Bane. 2 and a green for a 4/2 with trample. When it attacks, you gain 2 life. Yeah, it's a big pest, you know. I mean, 3 mana 4/2 trample, gain 2 on attacks is actually pretty good. Like, it's not bad. Kind of solves some of its problems. It trades, it tramples. Like, it just kind of does stuff. It forces blocks at times. Like, it's kind of, you think about it as sort of having lifelink. Yeah, I don't know. I like it. It's past. You know, I don't have a lot to say about it. I could see playing this in blue green. I wouldn't be like thrilled about it. Could definitely see playing it in green black. And again, it wouldn't be like over the moon, but you know, probably should put it in tier 4 though. I just think it's a solid curve fill guy though. Like, I just feel like you play this and in your deck, and it's just like on curve, and you feel good about it. It's kind of how I feel about it. I don't know. Slumbering Trudge, X on a green 6/6. It enters with a number of stun counters equal to 3 minus X. If it enters with a stun counter on it, tap it. This card is just a 1 mana 6/6. Obviously you wait, but like I don't know. Paying 1 mana to get a 6/6 is good. Hot take. Hot take. Paying 1 mana to get a 6/6, pretty good. Yeah. Obviously, it takes until like turn whatever. There's 3 stun counters on it. So you pay it on 1. Turn 2 doesn't untap. Turn 3 it doesn't untap. Turn 4 it doesn't untap. Turn 5 it untaps, and you have a 6/6, and you paid 1 mana for it. It's pretty good. Alternatively, you basically turn 5 is when you get this, right? I guess you could get it on turn 4 if you pay 3. You pay 3 and it's a 4 mana 6/6. I don't know. It's just great. I don't know. It's big. When you pay 1, you get 6, because it solves the problem of that the fairy from Wilds of Eldraine had, where like if you draw it in the late game, it's still. I mean, even that one you could pay to remove counters. I think. I don't remember, but like it just is good. It's just big. I don't know. It's large. I don't know. Tier 1's maybe a bit rich. It doesn't have any ETBs. It's just a 1 mana 6/6, man. You're paying 1 mana and you're getting 6/6. I guess bounce spells exist, but bounce spells aren't even that good against this. It's okay. Like, you bounce it, like, but like, cause like you pay 1 mana, they bounce it on like turn 4. Okay, whatever. I just play my 4 mana 6/6 next turn. 4 mana 6/6 is good. 4 mana 6/6 is good. So it's not even that good to bounce it. It's okay. It's decent to bounce it. Tier 1's maybe a bit rich. I don't care. I like it. Snarl Song, 5 and a green, sorcery, converge, create 2/0/0 blue and green fractal creature tokens, put X+1/+1 counters on them, and gain X life, where X is the number of colors of mana spent to cast the spell. This card seems like insanely good. This is like a reason to go 5 color. Like, you take this, you play it. If you gain 3 life, it's insane, right? Like, if you make 2 3/3s for 6 and gain 3 life, that's an insane card. If you do better than that, great. Obviously, it's not tier 1 because it doesn't go in every single green deck, I don't think. But green could be a splish splashy color, and I think, this incentivizes that. Studious first year, single green enters prepared. Rampant growth is the prepared spell. Very nice, curves into itself. Play it on 3. Lots of good options. Good card. No complaints. Tenured Concoctor, 4 and a green for a 4/5 with Vigilance. When it becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, you may draw a card. And it gains +2/+0 as long as you gain life this turn. I just, like, the spider from whatever Spider from OTJ had this ability, but when it's on a creature that doesn't matter at all, like this one, it's a lot worse. So, yeah. You can just ignore this a lot, basically. Thornfist Striker, 2 and a green, 3/3, ward 1. Creatures you control get +1/+0 and have trample as long as you gain life this turn. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty good. I mean, again, it's more of a green-black type card. For that reason, it's in tier 3. I think it's a fine 3-drop in that deck. Really good with the pest stuff. Um, I'm actually really starting to believe in the pest stuff, actually. The more I read the support, like, there's just so much support for it, and you really, yeah. This like it kind of feels like that's the whole thing that like green is really focused on is that. So don't know. Topiary Lecturer, 1 and a green for a 1 or 2 and a green for a 1/2 with increment. You can tap it to add an amount of green equal to this creature's power. So it's really slow. We've had cards like this before that are like the 3-mana elves that get bigger over the course of the game and they do stuff. This one grows more easily than some in the past, but I do also think it sure does die to everything and doesn't block. 3-mana elves are a lot worse than 2-mana elves. And obviously it gets bigger over time and whatever. You're never playing this in green black, right? You're only playing it in blue green. Only adds green mana, which doesn't matter that much, but matters. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of out. We'll see. Maybe it's just broken. Vastland Scavenger, one green green for a 4/4 with Death Touch. Enters prepared. Prepared spell is a 5-mana instant that mills 7 cards, and then you put a creature from among them onto the battlefield. Yeah, this is just great, right? 3-mana 4/4 Death Touch, and then you just get value later. No notes. The only note is that it's double pipped. Fine, whatever. Cool. Wild Hypothesis. Exit of green for a sorcery. Create a 0/0 blue and green fractal token. Put X +1/+1 counters on it and surveil 2. Nope. Not gonna play this card. It's just too small. Like, what number would X have to be for you to be happy with it? 2 is horrible. 3 is horrible. 2 is actually probably the least bad. 2 is probably kind of okay. 3 is horrible. 4 is horrible. 5 is horrible. Like, because like 3-mana 2/2 surveil 2, terrible. 4-mana 3/3 surveil 2, terrible. 5-mana 4/4 surveil 2, maybe. 6-mana 5/5 surveil 2, pretty good. So it's not that great. I am pretty out on this. But maybe it's okay. I don't see it. I'm really not seeing it. Wild Growth Archaic. 2 green, 2 green hybrids for a 0/0 with trample and reach and converge. It enters with a +1/+1 counter on it for each color mana spent to cast it. Whenever you cast a creature spell, that creature enters with X additional +1/+1 counters on it, where X is the number of colors of mana spent to cast it. Pretty good. I was confused by this, of course. You pay like 3 mana for probably a 2/2, or you could pay green green for a 1/1 with trample reach, and then you can cast. And then every creature spell you cast is bigger, but it's 1/1 for 2, so that's bad. Sometimes in the late game you can make it big. I think this is probably a little bit better than I'm giving it credit for. You can pay 4 if you have 4 different colors, and then you get a 4/4 trample reach. Yeah, let's bump it up a bit. Is that even true though? I guess all your creatures would get like 2 bigger mostly. That's probably pretty good. All right. And then Zamon's Experiment, 3 and a green sorcery. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal up to 2 creature or lands from among them. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in random. Put the rest on the bottom of the library. Put all land cards revealed this way onto the battlefield tapped, and all creature cards revealed this way into your hand. So it's a ramp spell. It's like Stock Up, except it costs 1 more mana, which is a lot worse. 4 mana Stock Up is a lot. Why? I mean, tier 5 is too much, though. Tier 5 is too aggressive. I'm being too hateful. Because it does ramp you too. So like you think about it, right? Stock up costs 3. It's the same effect as this, but it doesn't do stuff. Stock up was like broken. If you add 1 mana to stock up, how much worse does it get? It gets worse. It's a lot worse. Like a lot worse. But you're still looking at the top 5 drawing 2. Alright. So the one thing I will say is that it doesn't hit spells, so that's gonna hurt it as well. Could still be massively underrating it, though, to be honest with you, because I did also underrate stock up, which, you know, was one of the all-time... That was an all-time bad move from a guy like me. But that is it. That's it for green. Quick one. Quick, fast, easy. Um, that's it. So feel free to check out the other set review videos for this set. I'll see you in the next one.